Hello, my name is Mike Harris. I'm an American state national. My home is South Carolina, therefore I'm referred to as a South Carolinian. I would like everybody to join me in doing the same, because right now, if you're a U.S. citizen, you're actually Puerto Rican. You know that? You're a foreign entity to this country. It's part of a fraud. But everybody in America needs to get this book. It's called Disclosure 101, What You Need to Know. All right. It was written by a very smart woman named Annabon Wrights. Now you might see some videos bashing her on YouTube or, well, Vice TV, I think it was. It was one of them bashing her. Well, you just need to keep in mind that same people were bashing Trump too, right? Not here to comment on whether Trump's good or bad, but he did restore the republic, and that has an advantage to us as we the people. See, right now as a U.S. citizen, you're not a part of we the people. You're a Puerto Rican national, basically. Everybody here is the victim of identity theft, okay? Your government has stolen your identity, your name, and made several trusts out of it. One with a capital letter at the beginning with a middle initial, and another with all capital letters. Now, English grammar has very strict rules, right? And English grammar is what dictates our law, okay? Words have meanings, especially in law, and you have to define those words. And let me just read you something out of this book, right? Because this stands right now, like I'm here in Beaufort County, and your government that's all around you right now is perpetrating a fraud. Now, many of the employees don't realize it. They're compartmentalized on a purpose so that they don't know they're committing a fraud. But the principals of these corporations do know they're committing a fraud. That's how it goes on. So let me read you something. And written in kind of layman's terms, so you don't have to be a lawyer to understand it. The United States of America, Inc., acting in breach of trust and without granted consent, created foreign sister trusts which had operated under our names styled in upper and lowercase letters, like John Quincy Adams. This corporation and its officers, who were under contract to defend our nation, trust, and provide governmental services to our organic states, then claimed that these foreign trusts were standing as a surety for their own private corporate debts. Now see, let me stop there. You got to remember that the city of Beaufort is a private for-profit corporation that has a Dun & Bradstreet number right up there on Wall Street, okay? They're a private company. They're no different than a Walmart employee. Now, you're going to have to wrap your head around that, but they are. They're our contractors. As we the people, we hire them. Now, see, we haven't been we the people in a while. We've been U.S. citizens. But let's just look at the definition of people, okay? Men and women who can handle their own affairs. So it's important you start handling your own affairs and know who you are, all right? Because you have power. You have a lot more power. You have more authority than Judge Tupper sitting up there in that municipal court that the Supreme Court has ruled unconstitutional. Shouldn't even be there, but I'm sure he'll be doing cases today and extorting people for its money, which I have 5 questions you should ask him when you go to court that, trust me, he will vacate the stand probably on the 2nd or 3rd question. But we'll get to that in a minute, or it might even be in another video if I forget to do it now. Okay. Circumstantially implying that the individual living Americans had voluntarily agreed to stand good for the debts of the United States of America, and that they and their property and the assets of their organic states were all valid collateral for the debts of the privately owned United States of America, Inc. So you follow that? Everything you own has been given away, held as a surety for loans from a corporation that is corrupt as hell and doesn't handle their affairs. If they did, they wouldn't need your money to pay their debts, would they? No, they wouldn't. This was done without granted authority, without disclosure, and without consent by the officers of the privately owned and operated corporation, merely under contract to provide numerous services to the victims. You are the victim. It was and is pure self-interested fraud based on a systematic deceits, and it was carried out without disclosure as a private matter concerning the United States of America or Incorporated and its officers, not the clearly intended victims of the constructive fraud. Now see, these people were hired to take care of your interest. These corporations, we hired them to protect our interest, our assets, our oil in the ground, our coal, and they are robbing America. They're not giving you a dime. It's yours. We the people, it belongs to you. If there's oil in the ground and you're in that state, you earned a cut of it because it's on your land. Your founding fathers gave blood, sweat, and tears in their lives for you to have it. You need to realize this and act like a responsible owner of the country that you live in. Can't stress that enough. None of the corporate officers engaging in this activity, making these absurd claims upon the actual employers of the United States, Inc., you, had any granted authority to make these representations in behalf of anyone, much less the people they were bound to serve. United States of America, Inc. was entered into a receivership, the trustee of a bankruptcy. The Secretary of the Treasury of Puerto Rico promptly created new public trusts under the names of the individual living Americans. All capitals like John Quincy Adams. Those are corporations made in your name. That's identity theft. Did they tell you they did that? Did they tell you? Did they tell you to open a corporation up in your name? Dropped $1 million in it, it's earning 40% interest compounded yearly? Did they tell you that? No, they didn't disclose that. Anybody over 50 has $100 million in their name. It was perpetrated by fraud, therefore it belongs to you. And I'm trying to teach you how to get it. You and everything you own has supposedly come under the jurisdiction of Puerto Rico and the corporate United States. The problem with this is that it has happened, this is all have been accomplished under the basis of non-disclosure, fraud, and fraud fatalities. That is utterly destroyed, negates everything it aims to accomplish. Because we hired them to protect our interest, our natural resources. They look like they're doing that to you? No, they're not. And we, the people, have the authority to fire them right now. Don't make any space. Why are you waiting for an election when crimes are happening now? Right? If the man's robbing your house, are you going to wait to arrest him? No, you're not. You're going to arrest him. Here we go. So there is and can be no valid claim raised by any of these incorporated entities, nor by their bill collectors against you, your state. As a final notice clearly stated, this fact has already been determined and decided at the very highest levels of world governance by the trustees of the Global Estate Trust, the Pope. He's on your side. He knows what they're doing now. Who has demanded compliance from the corporate United States and all various corporate franchises and agencies. All the fraud, all the false claims being made against American estates has to come to an end. Now I say with this, notice to the agents is notice to the principals. This is public, it's on Facebook. I'm notifying the sheriff of Beaufort County to end the fraud now, or he's not doing his job. Now you keep in mind that man is working for a county corporation, County Beaufort. He has no more authority than we the people of our county, because you as a man, you have rights, you don't have authority. When two or more you gather and you've claimed your birthright, you're an American, not some entity, a vessel used to do business in corporation. You are an American on American soil. That's why I keep stressing you need to show that you are a man on American land. Now you have authority. You don't have that right now as a U.S. citizen. It was robbed from you. You need to go get it. You need to record your name on the land. You need to get your 1779 form. You can find it at the TASA website, tasa.americanstatenationals.org. And you're going to have a thing that says correct your status, because it was in error. Nobody knew they did this to you. There's no disclosure that they were going to make you some corporation offshore. You were born an American State National, just like your founding fathers were. What remains to be done, and what has to be done in the demonstration cases, is to redeem the individual estates. That is, to reclaim and restore the estates and their assets to their natural beneficiaries, free and clear of all encumbrances created by fraud and by misadministration, by incompetent or criminality inclined trustees. Now, I'm a South Carolinian. I'm speaking to my county because I want my county to be aware of the power they have and the fraud that's been perpetrated against them. If you have a mortgage, which, by the way, if you break down the root words, you have signed a death contract. People don't realize this, but since you were born, you've been signing contracts with Satan. You don't know that, but you did. But every mortgage is fraud. They borrowed your own money and gave it to you, and they're extorting you for doing it. Possession is 9/10 of the law. If you're in a home, that's your home. Stop paying your bank. They're fraudsters, and they will go to jail. Especially when I become sheriff. I don't want to be sheriff. Don't get me wrong. I have no desire to be sheriff. None whatsoever. But if our sheriff doesn't start working for we the people, then I have no choice. Not unless I can find a better man than me to do it, who I would support if there was. But right now it seems to be I'm going to be the only guy in the county speaking the truth to you. All my Republican friends and all my Democrat friends. To my Democrats, you thought you took the blue pill and got wake. Me? I thought I took the red pill. I didn't. Listen to me, please. Take care. Your friend, Mike Harris.